otters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m. A group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler, an expert says delay in post-Haiyan rehabilitation is due to a system, quote, designed to fail for massive disasters. The Ombudsman clears former President Gloria Arroyo and the Fertilizer Fund scam. And South Korea arrests the operator of the sunken Korean ferry.
Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. 6 months after the devastation of Super Typhoon Haiyan or Yolanda, an expert says the Philippines faces another disaster, its own rehabilitation efforts. On Wednesday, officials admit there's still no master rehabilitation plan. Ateneo School of Government Dean Tony Lavinia blames this on a system that he says is, quote, designed to fail for massive disasters. Two things explain the delay: too much bureaucracy and too little authority. Ping Lacson, the man tasked to oversee rehabilitation efforts, says a provision in a 4-year-old disaster risk reduction law is causing bottlenecks. Before a master rehabilitation plan is produced, affected areas need to submit their damage assessment reports before a post-disaster needs assessment or PDNA is submitted to the cabinet and then on to the president. None of these have happened, which means rehabilitation could officially begin in August or even much later. Frustrated about this, Lacson says the PDNA needs to be localized. Lavinia says the system is not designed for massive disasters. He adds, it's easy to do a post-disaster risk assessment for a town or a barangay, but not for a whole province or many provinces all at once. A humanitarian crisis expert shares his assessment of delayed Haiyan rehabilitation efforts. Food security, housing, and employment remain a challenge for typhoon survivors and local government units. Oxfam's Tariq Rebel says Haiyan's damage is comparable to the 2010 Haiti earthquake and the 2004 Indonesian tsunami. He says the private sector contributed to progress on the ground more than the government.
The humanitarian assistance has the basic humanitarian needs have been met. But I think when we look at who has done that, it's been a lot of international NGOs such as Oxfam. The Red Cross has been very active. We've had the private sector that has been very big. And then we've had
Rebel says the local governments are willing but, quote, overwhelmed.
The government has played a role. What they're clearly missing is money. They do not have money from the central government. The second part is that they lost all their assets. I mean, they lost all documentation, they lost their barangay halls, the municipal halls, everything. Everything is gone. ID papers.
Rebel adds Haiyan-stricken areas need specialists and advisors in livelihood and agriculture. He says it might take 3 years to fully rehabilitate Haiyan-stricken areas. The 3-year estimate takes into account natural disasters the Philippines will inevitably face again.
We should not be looking at reconstructing the Visayas pre-typhoon. It's not possible. And actually it's not even desirable because many people were suffering before the typhoon. They were very poor. So we're looking at a restructuring of livelihoods. This is going to involve a move out of agriculture to...
Rebel says if the government prioritized rehabilitation more, there's no need for private groups like Oxfam to operate on a large scale.
Big scale.
Yes, I mean, our dream is to be redundant, right? We're not here to have a job, we're here to get out of the job. So that would be good, yeah, that would be a success, I think.
The Ombudsman clears former President and Pampanga Representative Gloria Arroyo in the 728 million peso fertilizer scam. In a resolution released Thursday, the Ombudsman says complainants failed to present evidence proving Arroyo's involvement in the scam. Former Agriculture Undersecretary Jokjok Bolante and other individuals allegedly colluded with private suppliers to misuse these funds. These were allegedly used to finance Arroyo's allies for the May 2004 polls. Arroyo remains under hospital arrest over plunder charges for the alleged misuse of Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office funds. Beijing wants the Philippines to release Chinese fishermen arrested off the coast of Palawan Tuesday. Philippine Maritime Police intercepted the boat on Hasa Hasa Shoal, or Half Moon Shoal, located 60 nautical miles from Palawan and within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The police found about 500 turtles on the boat. A statement from Beijing says the fishermen were operating in an area where China had, quote, indisputable sovereignty. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying warns the Philippines against, quote, taking any further provocative actions. She adds, China always urges Chinese fishermen to conduct fishing activities in accordance with the law. The Philippines rejects China's demand. Malacanang defends the arrest, saying Philippine authorities were just doing their jobs. The operator of the ferry that sank off South Korea is now in prison. Kim Han-sik, chief operator of Chung Hae-jin Marine Company, faces manslaughter charges for allegedly turning a blind eye to cargo overloading, seen as a major factor to its capsizing on April 16th. Initial investigations show the ferry was carrying up to 3 times its safe capacity. The company's license has been revoked following the tragedy that killed nearly 300 people, most of them high school students. Region 1 archer Mary Queen Ibanez remains on target as she tops all individual distance events. Ibanez bags gold in the 30, 40, 50, and 60-meter events. She also wins gold in the FITA round, an event in target archery with time limit. In volleyball, all of Western Visayas' teams barge into the semifinals. The boys' elementary and secondary, as well as the girls' elementary and secondary, took care of their opponents in straight sets. In basketball, 2013 secondary boys finalists NCR and Central Visayas will face each other in the semifinals after posting 21-point wins over their opponents. The Central Visayas football team also advances to the next round after a hard-earned 3-1 win over host region Calabarzon. Mimaropa is still on track to defend its football title after a 2-0 victory over Western Visayas. Still on palaro, a Taekwondo Jin from Muslim Mindanao fights not only for glory but for a chance at a better life. Jane Bracher reports.
For Joanne Elegua of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, everything that ever happened to her led her to this moment.
Ako rin nga po kulang ako sa pinansyal pero may goal po kasi ako na gusto ko mag-aral nito kasi may kukunin pa akong kurso na gusto ko po maabot. Tapos yun, pinaaral po ako ng tatay ko kahit naghihirap po kami. Sabi niya, hanapan niya na lang po ng paraan para maano ko rin yung pangarap ko.
Dreaming of studying criminology, Joanne took the rough road to Palarong, Pambansa. A year ago, she couldn't even afford Taekwondo gear. With the help of her school in Cotabato, Joanne joined the varsity. And with her every kick, she visualized a better future for her and her parents back home. She also dedicates every kick to her sister, whom she will never see again. Joanne lost her 3-year-old sister when she was just 4. Her sister fell in a fish pond and drowned.
Sobra po kasi yung tatay ko po nagtatrabaho tapos yung nanay ko po nagtatrabaho din yun kasi kapos po talaga kami noon. Tapos yun, hanap po sila ng paraan. Nung dumating po sila doon sa hindi kasi nila matanggap. Tapos yun, nila matanggap na ganun nangyari. Kung buhay pa nga po siya, gusto ko rin po siya magte-taekwondo din.
As her parents struggled to make ends meet, Joanne doubled her efforts in school and in Taekwondo, hoping to get a scholarship.
Gusto ko po manalo ako sa laro ito. Gusto ko po makagold ako. Pakita ko rin po sa mga magulang ko, sa lahat ng mga kamag-anak ko na nagsisikap rin po ako kasi yung lahat po ng ginagastos ng tatay ko, ayoko po yung masayang.
Unfortunately, the 15-year-old lost her only match at Palaro.
Kailangan po yung magsikap po sila sa lahat ng hirap. Huwag po sila maghinaan ng loob at saka hindi naman po lahat ng ng laro na nananalo ka. Tanggapin po kung matatalo, mananalo po. Kailangan gawin po talaga ang best.
Joanne says this is not the end of the road for her. She looks forward to other competitions and opportunities, making her parents and her lost sister proud. A fighter who only comes back harder when she is down, she continues to kick back at everything life throws her way. Jane Brasher, Rappler, Laguna.
Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, the United States is changing its visa rule. The spouses of professionals in science and technology can now work while in the U.S. Spouses of people with H-1B visas or limited-term working visas who've also applied for permanent residency green cards can apply for permission to work. The change aims to retain highly skilled people in the U.S. At number 8, the United States, United Kingdom, China, and France offered to help trace and rescue more than 200 schoolgirls kidnapped by the terror group Boko Haram. The group, which condemns Western education, claimed responsibility for the kidnapping and warned it was selling the girls or taking them as brides. The U.S. and France will send specialist search teams to Nigeria, while London will deploy satellite imaging capabilities. China promised to supply, quote, any useful information acquired by its satellites and intelligence services to Nigeria. Boko Haram militants attacked another town, razing buildings and killing around 300 civilians. And at number 9, New Zealand imposes a complete ban on all psychoactive products starting Thursday, after admitting its partial ban was a mistake. The new law makes it illegal to possess, supply, or sell drugs with the same effect as ecstasy. Those who supply or manufacture the drugs may face a 2-year jail term or a fine of up to $433,000. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and viewers the most emotionally. These 10 stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If you take a look today, you have here China. A story both in Vietnam and in the Philippines. China slams the Philippines for premeditated provocative act, 89% angry. Vietnam says China fired water cannon, rammed ships. That's also 89% angry here. That red bringing out the mood of the story that's gotten the most number of votes. Bong Revilla dares the palace, jail me now. You have 24% annoyed and 55% angry. That red coming out to show the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. Three of the stories all red with China. Well, that is Rappler's newscast for today, Thursday, May 8, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.